Welcome to a new episode of the FPL Secret. Hello there, my name is Zekret and today is the second episode of Scout and Court, and as we are used to, it is a weekly series that comes after each game week, and we're gonna judge some players by numbers and also by eye test to check the probability of kicking them out of our teams, and also we're gonna scout some players that potentially gonna be beneficial for us in the upcoming game weeks. And as always, we are going to start with the court. Rashford is the first player with a massive ownership to be sold heavily this season. Seems that people have had enough after two blank game weeks for Rashford. And if you saw the first two games, you're probably gonna go with the flow, because Rashford was totally lost in the number 9 role. He doesn't move much, he doesn't dribble much. And probably that is going to continue until Haaland is back from injury. And of course, it's going to take time for Haaland to get in the starting 11 and take his time to adapt. So probably it's going to take a lot of time for Rashford to get back at his levels. He has Forest at home next, which is a fixture that he would like to have a Manchester United attacker in. But after that, he has Arsenal and Brighton. So do you think he will gain his confidence back when he plays Forest at Old Trafford? What I think is what I see from the attitude. If someone is not putting much effort in the games each week, probably that is going to continue until something changes. And what could it change in 1 week at Man United? They still need a center midfielder beside Casemiro, and they badly need their injured 70 million forward to get back from injury. So yeah, I might go without the 9 million midfielder whose name is Rashford in the next game week, even if it's Forest at home. It's the day of the expensive players, cause Salah is next. It's a shock for me to put one of the best FPL assets of all time in this category, but that's what it seems. The second most expensive player after Haaland is not doing enough for us to keep him in our teams. 2 games, 5 points at each, and no massive threat as it used to be. And repetitive mess on penalties, which really makes us think, will McAllister take the next one? A lot of questions regarding Mo Salah and more about Liverpool. But right now, Diaz and Jota looks like they are nailed and they get good minutes, and also supposedly looks very good. So why will you pay all that extra money on Salah? It's really a question to consider for Salah owners. It looks like it's not all about Watkins anymore in Aston Villa. As we saw last game, he's no longer on penalties, and Diaby and Bailey now are sharing the box with him while attacking. He's no longer the target man, he's no longer worth 8 million. He is a very good striker and still he will get plenty of chances playing for a team like Aston Villa. But at this new Aston Villa team, Watkins is not going to be my main target, not at 8 million. Pickford was a solid pick at the start of the season because of Everton's good fixtures. But now that he played 2 games, conceded 5 goals, a lot of people start thinking about other options. I don't blame them. Villa crushed Everton with 4 goals, and the road to Pickford's goal doesn't seem hard as we thought it would be. But in the first game against Fulham, Everton was actually good, and he was totally unlucky to concede a late-minute goal and lose the game. And at Villa, it was difficult for them because Aston Villa is a top team and he wanted to prove that after losing to Newcastle. So basically, Everton took all the anger in the face. If I have Pickford, I'll wait a bit because in the upcoming 6 game weeks, there are potential for clean sheets for Everton. So you might want to stick to your original plan. But if you have the funds and the free transfer to do that and move Pickford for another goalkeeper who plays for a team with a better defense and good fixtures, sure, you can go ahead. And that would be all the judging for today. Let's move to scouting. As we said last week about Foden, that he needs time to settle and get back to his levels. And that's what happened this week. He was Man City's best player by far, and he had an assist and created a lot of chances. He mostly played in De Bruyne's role. So those who kept him after a bad performance in game week 1 got rewarded with 9 points. And the people who waited to take a decision on him to get him in their teams, now we know that he is back at his levels and he's doing very well, and Pep prized him as well. Wissa is on fire. A lot of people looking to filling their attacking spots by cheap options. Here's a one. 6.1 million scored in both games and could have done more. And for these decent fixtures, he can easily be a great asset. I was tricked by the preseason of Brighton when Marsh didn't play much, because if he did, he would have been a main asset in my team. I love him since last season, and I like the way he contributes in everything and how he gives 100% effort each week for the team. Now he is on the top of all midfielders by 24 points in just 2 game weeks, and an excellent performance as well. The only problem is that the fixtures run doesn't look so good. But with this performance from Brighton, can they still score against the big teams? I think they will, but it's not going to be easy to get more than a return from one player. So I believe if you choose another players from another teams with a better fixture, you have the probability to get rewarded more points. It wasn't expected after the arrival of Moussa Diaby that Bailey is gonna get a lot of minutes, cause they both play on the right and they are a bit similar. But surprisingly, Emery succeeded to make it work after Buendia's injury, and now Bailey is playing on the right and Diaby plays in the number 10 under Watkins. And Watkins sometimes drop a little to the left and they form an attacking triangle of Watkins, Diaby and Bailey. So Bailey basically switched between being a right wing back when they don't have the ball, and while attacking he is a right winger and sometimes a second striker, which is very good. He's linking very well with Diaby and he was very dangerous in the last game, and he is the cheapest among these 3 strikers at 5.5 million. He went out injured, but it doesn't seem to be a dangerous injury and probably he's gonna play next game, but to make sure of that, we're gonna wait for the press conference and see. Okay, there you go guys, that was all about today's Scouting Court. I hope it was fair. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our mini league. And until next time then, see ya.